C.T. Wilson. I'm a state delegate in Charles County, which is District 28 in Maryland. Yesterday we had the vote on the gun bill, or the firearms safety bill of 2013. And I opposed the bill, and I stated my reasons on the floor were several, and it failed. The bill actually passed. I failed in my fight. And I'll say that the biggest reason that the bill passed is there's this tornado of misinformation around elected officials, one. And two, it tends to be very easy to point the blame on a style of weapon or legal gun owners, because people say all the time that there are too many weapons on the streets. And as I said earlier, I don't disagree with that. I spent 8 years as a prosecutor. There are too many weapons on the streets. They're illegal. They were ill-gotten. They were stolen. The individuals don't know how to use them, and they are a danger. That doesn't mean an individual can't legally own, possess, and use a firearm. And I think that's where the disconnect is. There are people that supported this legislation that really didn't understand that, number one, it isn't the mere fact that weapons that cause the problems. It's the illegal weapons that cause the problems. It's the individuals who get them only for bad deeds. And so weapons become villainized. They villainize the AR-15. As I explained on the floor, there are a lot of individuals like myself who, when they get out of the military, go to that system because that's basically the platform, the M16, M4 platform that we're comfortable with. Not because we plan on doing any great acts of violence. And I think that sitting there yesterday talking to my colleagues, a lot of them don't understand. They didn't understand that an AR-15 is not an automatic weapon. They don't even know what an automatic weapon is. And I've listened to them ask me how many rounds a minute my AR-15 shoots, time and time again. You've heard them on the floor call them AK-15s, because these are individuals who really did not take the time to familiarize themselves with what a weapon is. And as I said earlier, we called them assault rifles, and yeah, there's not really an assault rifle in Maryland because they're not select fire weapons. And to my knowledge, that's the only thing an assault rifle is. It is a true assault rifle is a select fire rifle. But regardless of the definition, there just wasn't enough information. And I think sometimes it's the most politically expedient method is to just react and say, well, let's go after the gun owners because they must be the problem. And as I said on the floor yesterday, to me, one of the most tragic things about this bill was it did not address the problems in Maryland. We talked about the Sandy Hook shooting and the tragedy, the massacre, and it breaks my heart every time I hear this because there's 500 black men dying every year in Chicago, and nobody said anything about that being a tragedy. 200 and some odd black men dying in Baltimore City, and I never heard about that tragedy. That wasn't a massacre, and they were dismissed as drug dealers. Some of them may have been. Some of them were innocent bystanders, and this bill did nothing to deal with those issues. The problems, the illegal weapons. I tried to put them on the floor to increase the penalties for people that wear and carry illegally. It was soundly killed. And my point was, if you're going to be tough on gun crimes, you need to be tough on the individuals carrying the guns illegally as well. There are a lot of law-abiding citizens out there. The ones that are going to be getting fingerprinted, the ones that are going to be going through all the classes are not going to be the worry of our community. And unfortunately, after this bill next year, we'll still have over 200 people dead in Baltimore City. And that's why I was very upset with the bill, because it was more of a comfort, it was more of a fluff piece to make people feel like they've done something. Because a lot of times when there's a quote-unquote tragedy, you got to do something. But that's not why we were elected. We weren't elected to do something. We were elected to do something right and to do something well. And we failed on both of those counts. So we will be back. We will be talking about gun crimes and gun violence again. And until we face the facts that we got to go after the bad guy first, we'll always miss the mark.